afternoon.
Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Ephesians 5:15 through 16. Speak to one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. Sing and make music in your heart to the Lord, always giving thanks to God the Father for everything in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Ephesians 5:19 through 20. Be very careful then how you live in these verses of Ephesians that we have been reading the last few weeks. There is eternal wisdom for improving the quality of your character, the lust for life, the satiety of your soul. To put it out there in plain terms, if you follow this advice from St. Paul, your life will become everything it is intended to be. You will realize your potential. You will accomplish your purpose. You will experience the deepest, most rewarding satisfaction. Guaranteed. Understand what the Lord's will is. One of the best-selling books in recent years is The Purpose-Driven Life. It is a daily intentional guide for discovering why you were put here on this earth. What is God's plan for your life? Millions of folks are buying it. Church study groups are focusing on it. It is evident that many, many people are hungry for a more meaningful life. I'm happy for those who are finding direction from this book. It is, however, disheartening to observe how many in our community are looking in the wrong places for love, for satisfaction in life, and for fulfillment. Walter Chrysler said, "The reason so many people never get anywhere in life is because when opportunity knocks, they are out in the backyard looking for four-leaf clovers." Isn't that true? Our churches are here offering fellowship, soul-satisfying relationships, and many folks are out looking in bars, getting drunk with lost souls, hoping to find their soulmate. Don't be foolish, says St. Paul, but understand what the will of the Lord is. God has planted a dream in your heart, but you have to take the right road to realize it. You have to make the right choices to achieve it. You have to keep traveling down that path until you come to it. Ronnie, my late partner, had a favorite song he performed for pageants titled "There's a Dream Out There with Your Name on It" by Jennifer Holliday. Now, if you listen to the lyrics, I think you can see how they offer similar advice. Stay strong, I tell myself, when things are going wrong. There's times I'd love to be a winner. As I see my chances growing dimmer, I hold on to memories. Small one, my mother said, your life has just begun. You see the rain through stormy weather, but there's rainbows there, and things will soon get better. So hang on, because there's a dream out there with your name on it. There's a wish somewhere just waiting for you. There's a star in the night whose light will be shining brighter when that dream with your name on it comes true. Stand tall. Don't you be afraid. You're sure to find your way, and when that voice that's deep inside you says to take a chance, that's what you've got to do. Follow your heart. Go where it leads you. It's telling you. There's a strength from within you can depend on. When it seems that your schemes are falling through, there's a dream out there with your name on it. There's a wish somewhere just waiting for you. There's a star in the night whose light will be shining brighter when that dream with your name on it comes true. Amen. And one father told his children early in their lives, each of you has a specific God-given purpose for being on earth. You are different from everyone else who ever lived, and your reason for being alive is unique to you and you alone. You must discover what this purpose is. And each of his children took this message to heart. By being told repeatedly that they were special and had a God-given reason for having been created, they sensed that there was a distinct and particular mission for them. Paul's advice then is that we become filled, not with that which subverts the quality of life, but that we fill our lives with that which is virtuous, honest, and helpful. You and I are influenced by our environment, by the things to which we are exposed. If you spend too much time with negative people, you will become negative and critical. Seek out the friendships of those who look on the bright side, those who have a positive attitude, those who look for opportunities to do good works, not to gossip.
Amen.
If you spend your time thinking about money, you will become selfish and grasping. A wise parable is that a rich person is not the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least. Do not give your heart to that which does not satisfy your heart. The desire for money and possessions is dangerous and terrible, knowing no satisfaction. It drives the soul that it controls to the heights of evil. Anna Quindlen was asked to present the graduation speech at one of America's preeminent universities. You may have seen excerpts from it, which made the rounds of forwarded emails some time ago. Being a novelist, she admitted that she had no special expertise or insight in enabling her to address that gathering of scholars. Yet, her message was poignant. Following are some excerpts. You will be the only person alive who has sole custody of your life. Your particular life, not just your life at a desk or your life on a bus or in a car or at the computer. Not just the life of your mind, but the life of your heart. Not just your bank account, but your soul.
Amen.
Here's my resume. I'm a good mother to 3 children. I no longer consider myself the center of the universe. I show up, I listen, I try to laugh. I'm a good friend to my husband. I've tried to make my marriage vows mean what they say. I'm a good friend to my friends, and they to me. Without them, there would be nothing to say to you today, because I would be a cardboard cutout. So, here's what I wanted to tell you today. Get a life. A real life. Not a man in pursuit of the next promotion, the bigger paycheck, the larger house. Get a life in which you are not alone. Find people you love and who love you. And remember that love is not leisure, it is work. Pick up the phone, send an email, write a letter.
Amen.
Get a life in which you are generous and realize that life is the best thing ever and that you have no business taking it for granted. Care so deeply about its goodness that you want to spread it around. Take money you would have spent on beer and give it to charity. Work in a soup kitchen. And think of life as a terminal illness. Because if you do, you will live it with joy and passion as it ought to be lived.
Amen.
These messages certainly catch the spirit of Paul's exhortation. Be very careful then how you live. Not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity. Are we looking for that dream out there that has our name on it? That star in the night? That wish just waiting for you? And are we waiting for the right moment that voice deep inside us tells us that take a chance? Or our heart leads us to where it should be? Or are our schemes falling through because we aren't paying attention and looking in all the wrong places for all the right things? How could we each write our own resumes? How are we handling the custody of our lives? Not just the lives of our minds, but of our hearts. Not just the bank accounts, but of our souls. It's never too late to start. I look back on my life and realize I could have been a better husband, a better friend. I've wasted a lot of time, precious time. But Paul's message is not about being guilty for what could have been or what should have been. This is about now. This very moment, I can start making positive choices. We can start in our homes where we have the most influence. Speak to one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. Sing and make music in your heart to the Lord.
Amen.
I remember in my own home when I was a young boy, and my father would sing to me in the mornings to wake me. I love you, a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. The gentle hug around the neck turning into a crescendoing tickle that peaked with uncontrollable laughter and smiles that make your face hurt. I still remember that. A home environment can come alive with good music. We don't always have to be talking. We can be uplifted by the sounds and lyrics of good music. Medical science has proven that cheerful music can lift the spirit from depression. It can lower blood pressure. It can stimulate the mind. But be careful. Pay attention to what music is being played in your home. I may be out of the mainstream, but I cannot comprehend the value of some of the head-throbbing, drum-beat rap sounds that shake my bedroom windows at 2 o'clock in the morning from car stereos. One mother once discovered that the song her daughter was listening to, Darling Nikki, described a perverted sex act and called Nikki a sex fiend. The wrong kind of music can lower our children's threshold of resistance, inciting evil or immoral activities. Indeed. On the other hand, there's music that lifts the soul, that inspires us to think more clearly, that elevates our mood. That's the kind of music to which Paul is referring. Be filled with the Spirit as you sing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs among yourselves, singing and making melody to the Lord in your hearts. This is the music that is a gift from God. The kind of music that can cheer you up. Music that can slow down your anxious heart. Music that can inspire your thoughts. I once asked a group of people how many played music in their homes. Not one answered in the affirmative. One said that the television was always on. Another said, I know we should. Another said, my kids are always listening on their iPods, but I can't hear it, thank goodness. I encourage you to put more music into your home life. Turn off the television. Turn on the music. Buy a lively Mozart CD. Memorize the words to hymns and recite them to yourself when you can't sleep. Hymns like Abide with Me and What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
Amen to that.
When I read this scripture, I remember what Martin Luther said about music. Singers are never sorrowful. Music makes people kinder, gentler, more reasonable. The devil flees over the sound of music. In my heart there rings a melody. How can you be unhappy? How can you be angry when that song is ringing in your heart? Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise. Sing and make music in your hearts to the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen indeed. Have a seat, gentlemen, for the announcements. Pray at DallasULC.com. Pray at DallasULC.com. If you have a prayer, ooh, Lord, I'm just trying to tear things up today. If you have a prayer request, we pray every day here at Dallas Universal Life Church. We can pray for you during the week, or you can ask that we actually pray as a congregation for you on Sunday. You may remain anonymous, or you may choose to leave your name. Pray at DallasULC.com. Okay. Also, what is the other one? Feedback. Isn't that right? Feedback?
Yes.
Or is it info or something?
Feedback.
I'm always, there's so many email addresses, it's hard for me. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. I promise we're going to get to that. We always get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just do this one. Feedback at DallasULC.com. I think that one actually goes with this, but that's okay. We'll just get through it. Feedback at Dallas. I apologize for my voice. I'm lucky to have the voice I have. I've didn't have much voice at all yesterday. So I'm sure I won't have one tomorrow either now after trying to sing today.
Yeah.
I'm
but,
sure you will, God
but,
will.
we got through this. So we still have
yeah.
to just get you through the end of this and then the roundtable. So y'all are going to do a lot of talking in the roundtable. Feedback at DallasULC.com. That's mostly for our people on YouTube and for our people on our podcast. That's, anybody can use it, but feedback at DallasULC.com. If you like what we're doing, if you don't like what we're doing, let us know. I mean, I'm not a mind reader over here, so this is your church, not mine. This is all of ours. So, let me know. You're going way too fast on me over here. You're trying to rush me, aren't you?
No, I just now clicked that one because it says podcast, so I figured that was the cue to press up.
Hey, did y'all know we had a podcast? See,
Yeah.
there's the cue.
Yeah.
We have a podcast. It's pretty cool too. I tell you guys, you can watch the service on YouTube, but it is a different experience to watch it, to listen to it on the podcast. It just is. It's just I don't know what it is about it, but you have to. It's just in your mind's eye. It's just, for me at least, it's different. So you can listen to us anywhere that great podcasts are heard, including Radio Public, Anchor, of course, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Castbox, Stitcher, Overcast, and the one and only Spotify.
Don't forget about that.
Spotify. I love
Yay,
that Spotify.
Spotify.
I say, hey Alexa, ask AnyPod to play Your Path with Bishop Mark.
Right.
Your Path with Bishop Mark. Don't. That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny. I may do that every once in a while. But it doesn't mean I had to say it, does it? Okay, so I say, hey Alexa, ask any pod to play Your Path with Bishop Mark. And she goes, Your Path with Bishop Mark. In this episode, it's like a soap opera opening, and I think it's hilarious.
It sounds awesome.
It's cute, and it's easy to do. So hey, any pod, if you have Alexa and all that kind of fun stuff, all you gotta do is get any pod, and you can listen to us there. You just don't have to even touch a thing. Just say the words, and my voice will be, gracing your presence in your home or your car or wherever you are. Okay, I think it's cool. And your technology is great these days. So anyway, yeah, that's what I said. Your Path with Bishop Mark. Please search Your Path with Bishop Mark. Anywhere you want to search it, Google. We're everywhere now, guys. And I am so grateful to all of you for listening and for being here and for taking the time to worship with us every week. So, any other announcements? Okay, let's talk about the pink elephant in the room. Let's just do that right now.
Pink elephant?
Yeah,
What pink elephant?
Well, that pink elephant in the room is the one that's missing. Our Deacon Partain.
Oh yeah, that guy
is out again this week. Unfortunately, he's out again with personal reasons. Yeah. So we will keep him in our prayers.
Every night.
He's sorely missed here. Obviously, he was our IT person, and I'm trying to get by and trying to train other people. No, you're doing fine. You're doing just fine. Look, it's frustrating. It is, and it is for all of us. But look. Let's just keep Deacon Partain in our prayers, and keep him in our thoughts. And hopefully we will get this worked out. And next week he'll be back. Let's just pray that happens because we miss him. We miss him. I mean, we do. We miss him. I miss him. I miss talking to him. I mean, we used to have a blast getting ready for church every Saturday night.
Yeah, I miss him a lot.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. So keep him in your prayers. And I ask you out there in the world, please keep Deacon Partain also in your prayers. And keep all of us in your prayers. I can never have too many for myself. I know that much. Lord knows I need them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Anything else?
For Mrs. McCool, of course.
My grandmother is suffering from end-stage Alzheimer's, and she fell out of bed again this week and hit her head. This is about the third time in the last month that she has hit her head hard enough to have to go to the hospital. So, please keep her in your prayers. We pray for her every week, I know, during the intercessions, but if you could just also keep her in your prayers. I mean, it's hard on her, but it's also extremely hard on the family to watch. Of course, yeah. And she doesn't always know exactly what's going on, and that's probably a blessing. But it's very hard to watch a woman who has raised 7 adopted children and over how many letters in the alphabet? 26? Over 26 foster children.
Wow.
7 adopted children and 26 foster children. Was married to the same man for almost 60 years. It's hard to watch her mind go. It was an amazing woman. So please keep her in your prayers as well. I ask you just as a favor for me. Okay. All right. So, what'd you like? What'd you not like? What do you want to keep? What do you want to get rid of?
Yeah. Get rid of it.
You don't want to get rid of Gavin. We love Gavin.
Okay.
Be careful how you live was the title of today's sermon. Careful how you live. What do you think about that?
That was a really good sermon. I really liked it.
Tell me about it.
Be careful how you live can really relate to anything that you do. I mean, depending on each person's individual life, of course. But to me, be careful how you live. It's really be careful who you hang out with.
That's a big part of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all make decisions even when we're alone, when we're not with other people. I'm missing my cross. I'm feeling naked without it.
What I was really getting at is, subconsciously we actually start becoming those other people.
We can pick up traits. That's true.
Regardless of if they're successful.
And we can be influenced, obviously.
We are a product of our surroundings.
You are. They say there's an old saying about you're judged by the company you keep, right? Say we shouldn't judge people, but we do, unfortunately. So, what y'all think of some of the examples we talked about? We talked about this song by a wonderful singer, Jennifer Holliday. We also talked about this writer who did the inaugural, or not the inaugural, but the commencement speech at a graduation of a prominent university. I thought her things were the excerpts were just amazing. You know, you will be the only person alive who has sole custody of your life, your particular life, not just your life at a desk or your life on a bus or in a car or at the computer, not just the life of your mind, but the life of your heart.
Yeah.
Not just your bank account, but your soul.
Amen. Yeah, that's really heavy.
So here's what I wanted to tell you today. Get a life. A real life. Not a manic pursuit of the next promotion, the bigger paycheck, the larger house. Get a life which you are not alone. Find people you love and who love you. And remember that love is not leisure. It is work. Be careful how you live. Pick up the phone. Send an email. Write a letter. Get a life which you are generous. And realize that life is the best thing ever and that you have no business taking it for granted. Care so deeply about its goodness that you want to spread it around. Take money you would have spent on beer and give it to charity. Work in a soup kitchen. And think of life as a terminal illness, because if you do, you will live it with joy and passion as it ought to be lived.
Man. Yeah, that's deep.
Gavin?
I think it's
Your Cheshire Cat smile?
not the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Talk to me. What do you think?
I think it's quite beautiful, and it's very eloquently put, just for the simple fact that it doesn't only speak of, you know, just living your life each day as if it were your last. It means that's another part. Another part I'd like to hit on is the fact that whenever they brought up a purpose-driven life.
Mm-hmm. The book?
Yes.
Yes.
One thing that I actually learned from that book was the fact that each day is a learning process. Each and every single day.
Every moment is.
Yes. And we are but children in the eyes of the Lord, and we always will be, because for every step that we take on this earth, it's nothing but, you know, a ripple in the pond in comparison to the...
If that.
Yes, if that. Compared to the eternity that we're going to spend in heaven.
Hopefully. If we live the life we're supposed to live, if we're careful about how you live your life.
But that's the other part is, like I said, each day is a learning process. As long as you take away something from that day, as long as you learn something, then it's not a waste.
I agree. I think, you know, I say all the time that, you know, the day that you stop learning is the day that you die.
Amen. Because,
you know, I don't care how old you are, there's always something to learn, always. And that doesn't mean, you know, you're you're reading, writing, and arithmetic. You know, that means life. Would you mind turning that fan off for me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes the fans get a little loud on the microphones and it kind of messes with them. That's okay. It got a little warm in here today, and I apologize. It's humid and hot outside. We had a lot of rain the last couple of days, and it just really
I think that's what it was.
got us, I think. You know, being here so close to the lake, it can be warm as we can learn very quickly, right?
Yes, indeed.
But how do we do that? How do we live that life? I mean, look, we can talk about it all we want. We can you know, be eloquent and talk about how lovely it was and everything else. But how do we put it into our day-to-day lives? How do we live that life that we're careful of and that we are wanting to learn? And we are, I mean, look, let me tell you, there are days that I don't give a damn and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to learn nothing. I want to lay in bed and I want to watch, you know, reruns all day long and be mindless. But what does that get me?
But I would say a good saying for that would be, as knowledge without application is irrelevant. So...
Interesting quote there.
It's just, it just sprung up and it's like...
Knowledge without application is irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Explain that to me, Gavin.
Well, you can learn everything from here to Timbuktu, but if you don't put it into action, then guess what?
Where are we going with that? Where am I going to go with that, you think? Where do you think I'm going to go with that next?
I have no idea.
It's real simple.
Through God.
Non dinigamus. Verbo nec lingua sed in opere et veritate. Which in a nutshell means what, Gavin?
I completely forgot.
Put your money where your mouth is. Actions speak louder than words. Okay. That's our saying, and it's important that we know what it is. If who has a phone on them right now?
Right.
Put your phone out. pull up the website. I want you to give the exact English translation of that Latin phrase.
Alright.
And normally I would say, don't put your phones out during this, but today I want you to get this right, because I'm going to get this in y'all's head what this is, and how important it is, and why I chose this as our saying, as our motto on everything we have.
Look at that, I have it on my front page, the
There it is.
link.
Now, if you can find the pictures, it'll say it in the pictures. You know what I'm saying? So scroll down to the picture. I know the mobile version kind of stinks, but
Oh my. No.
it's usually the first picture, too.
The first picture?
Uh-huh. I think.
Our vision?
No, keep going. It's not then. I've changed it all. I forgot that I've redone it. But
Religion is those who don't.
keep going.
Okay. Volunteer, prayer
Nope.
requests. No.
In the pictures, though.
Where?
In the top right.
I don't see it.
Up here.
I see it.
Okay, just a moment. It's right here. It's right here. Watch. It'll be this one. No, it won't. That's this one here.
Oh,
No, it's not that
no.
Hold on. It's here. No. Can you not go to a regular thing here? Okay, you can. So, I'll pull it up over here.
Alright.
I'll pull it up and tell you exactly what it says. Because this is important, and you know, I want to make sure I get it right too, because it's a lot of words.
The crazy thing with what you said though, Mark, is
Go ahead.
that, you know, you said that you want to just stay in bed sometimes, but
Sure.
in turn, sometimes, most times actually, you actually end up learning something
You do.
on accident.
You do.
So regardless, it still goes back to rhythm plus repetition equals succession.
Okay, it was the first slide here. But let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed. Behold in the work of the truth. Now explain that to me. But let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed. Behold in the work of the truth. Can anybody tell me what that means? Think about that. Let us not love in word or in tongue, but in deed. Behold the work of the truth. Is that right? Or the love of the truth? Work of the truth.
Love with a hug.
So think about that. What does it mean?
It means essentially what I
I
said.
already gave you the answer a minute ago.
Don't say you love somebody. Just give them
Well,
love.
look. What it means is, look. Talk is cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't love the words.
Right.
Don't that's that's not what it is. Because I can say anything I want to say. You know, I can BS you all the way down the street. It's what I do. It's your actions. It's your actions will always speak louder than your words. And that's the whole point here. Is, look, I don't care how lofty your words are. I don't care how grand you describe your life or your plans or your future. What are you doing to make it happen? That's what matters. What steps are you taking? Are you going? Are you moving your feet? Are you, doing something every day for God, for your community, for others? Because we are what? Men and women for others. That all fits in together here. That's how you do it. It's not about talking about it. It's about doing. It's not about talking. It's about doing. It's not about words. It's about action.
A lot of times, though, in my personal experiences, is a lot of times it's all subliminal. A lot of people don't really see those steps whenever they're clearly there.
Well, but do you, is the point.
Yes.
We're not talking about anybody else. I'm not looking at you. I'm about you. This is you looking at yourself and going, am I doing these things? And you know what? We're human. We don't do it. And there are days that we just stay in bed and watch TV. There are.
But we are human, though, also in that manner, because we can only do so much as a human.
Right. But let me tell you this.
One.
Well, I'll tell you this, like I said many times before, God will never give you more than you can handle.
Correct.
Ever.
Indeed.
And there's a lot of things out there that I see people,
Say my name?
No.
Reminds me of a song. Say my name, say my name. Speaking of songs, what do you think about that? Songs. It talks about singing.
Singing with your
What do you
heart.
think about that? Because look, we all listen to all kinds of different songs here. I mean, like we were just listening to Aretha Franklin, who just passed away. God rest her soul. Amazing contributor to music and just amazing a woman and a big loss by losing her. Heaven's got a concert from hell.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Keep letting them have it.
Yeah.
But
Bringing the soul up there.
one thing that I gotta say is it touches on the fact that music truly does lift up our hearts.
It can.
It can
But our
either
soul.
bring it can lift up our hearts, it can ease us, but it can also divert us into a more...
A lot of things.
Yes.
It's just like the company you keep.
Amazing Grace.
Beautiful song.
Think about the song Amazing Grace. And every time you hear that song, I mean, we all know the words to it. We all have sung it. We all have heard it. When you hear that song come on, what does it do to you?
It's amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is to me.
It is to me.
I mean, I don't sit there and listen to it every 5 seconds, but, you know... And it's one of those songs that I would love to. I mean, I could play it every week for service. I mean, I would love to sing it every week, but it wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
So it's one of those I have to kind of hold off on.
Yeah,
It's the special one.
Yeah.
I think we sang it today, didn't we? Didn't we?
No, it was last week.
Was that last week?
Yeah.
Boy, they start to run together after a little while, you know.
Yeah.
I'm starting to worry about you.
I know it's the senility setting in. Blessed Assurance, how great that art was the big one this week, and then of course we did Beat Out My Vision, which are all pretty standards.
Can you say what they said in the service about the Psalms? Because I didn't quite understand exactly.
Sure. Let me get to that.
The way it was worded, I didn't catch up with it.
Okay. It's right here at the end. It said, it was actually, the reading was very, very small. It was the reading that Gavin did today, that I did the sermon on. I thought we had spoken enough about the bread of life and the body, and this is the third week in a row now we've talked about I am the bread of life, and I think last week we pretty much covered most of that.
Included it, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So I went ahead and did the sermon on the Ephesians reading today. Okay, so... Hold on a second. Let me just find the exact... It's actually the reading. I mean, it's very simple, but...
it's very, very peculiarly put.
Well, okay, here we go. Speak to one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. Sing and make music in your heart to the Lord.
See, that means so much. Like, in so many different ways. That's not talking about just singing.
No, there's a lot of things there. It's also about how you speak to each other, how you treat each other, what you say to each other.
The diaphragm you use. I mean, a lot of stuff.
Diaphragm?
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah. Because you can say, I hate you, bro. And you can say, I hate you, with anger.
You can.
And it means two different things.
But, well... I don't know what the word like hate. I think it pretty much means you hate somebody.
You get what I'm saying.
I kind of do.
With that.
Here's what I want to go with
It's the
this.
same words with different meaning.
Be nice. Sing as
The Lord would.
they sing in the Bible.
Yeah.
The Psalms. The Psalms. Look, I love the Psalms. I do. And the reason I don't go off on the Psalms as much in service is because they're very, what I would call feel good. Like there's a certain preacher down in San Antonio that Joel is his name. Let's just leave it at that. And I call him a feel good preacher. A feel good preacher. And the reason I call him that, look, I love him. I think he's wonderful. I think he fills a niche. And people go and he's doing some good out there. But there's a time and a place for feel good, and there's a time and a place for preaching the truth. I do believe God is a feel good God. I believe God loves us unconditionally. He's given us so much. I mean, there's so much to be thankful for. But there's also that same God who has to punish.
Slap you in the face.
Because if any good parent who would turn a blind eye to what their child is doing is not necessarily a good parent. You have to punish. Talking about tough love and everything like that. We've been through that.
You'll get more respect.
Now, I have people tell me also, God's not fair. God's not fair.
Yeah.
You know what? God's not fair.
No,
because if God were fair, none of us would be here. We would have been wiped off the earth decades ago, centuries ago. Because, look, He punishes, but He punishes with a gentle hand. Like my grandfather used to, when he gave spankings, he would take you to the back room and he'd slap on his own leg and say, okay, say out. Say out. So you're getting your spanking, so grandmother would think you were getting your spanking. Ow!
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's that gentle love, that gentle parenting love.
But think about it, though. God has actually killed us once in the flood. He destroyed mankind.
But understand this, God also almost did it again.
Yeah.
And Moses changed God's mind.
Indeed.
Exactly. And told him and begged him, you made a promise to these people. Yeah, they messed up. But you're God. And you can You can choose whether, to give them another chance or not. Thank God he gave us another chance, because here we are. I mean, he was ready to wash his hands of the human race.
That's what I'm saying.
He said, I'm going to, just wipe the earth of you. You're gone. It's over with. And Moses...
2 times.
This was right after the Ten Commandments were issued. He said, God said, they're down there, worshiping false gods and this, that, and the other. And how dare they? Well, of course he was mad. I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money to have those things etched. No, seriously. God is not fair.
Nothing's fair, though. Nothing.
Life equals out.
No, God is not fair.
Life, the universe will always be equal. So in that sense, I do believe life is fair. I do believe that. Do I believe that we all stand on even keel the day that we're brought into this world and all have the same opportunities to succeed or fail? No. No. And that's rather controversial for me to say that, and I've said it before. But I believe that, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe in a past life we're just finishing up something, and that's why some people have it so easy, and they just need to finish a few more steps in their education to get their diploma and move on. I don't know. That's for God to know. But I know that we're not all equal. I know that. But you know what? Just because we're not all equal doesn't mean that the one who is the least can't be the best.
Right.
It's all about determination, because God will not give you more than you can handle.
Drive and motivation, I believe.
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah. There you go.
A black woman, when women and blacks were not appreciated at all.
And she still rose to the
Billie
top.
Holiday. Oh, that's
I'm telling
girl.
you, we have a history in America, a common, I call it an ailment of putting people on pedestals because of their. I'm talking about sports now, about their physical prowess.
Right.
Their with how well they've worked out, or we put them on pedestals because of how good looking they are, or
What happens when you spoil a child, though?
When you what?
When you spoil a child, though, they turn out bitter and
Well,
wrong, because it's the same sense. You put somebody on a pedestal and you appreciate all their achievements and pat them on the back the whole
what
way
is the achievement? We put someone on a pedestal because they look good. Okay,
right.
What is your achievement? How did you achieve that?
Right.
Okay, look. Yeah, you had to do a little bit of working out. Maybe you had to eat right. You had to use the right kind of whatever. I mean, God gave you that gift, and I think that's something that some of the supermodels forget today. You're gorgeous. You are. First of all, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
Physical beauty is not really what we're after. Although look, you're attracted to it. God gave us that. But the hard part is looking deep within, and sometimes
knowing yourself, really.
I'm not saying that some of those beautiful people can't be some of the most beautiful people within also, but Gavin, quit with the horseplay.
All right.
But saying that you can also find beauty in some of the most unexpected places.
Right.
Don't judge a book by its cover. I know we're getting a little cliche here, but
It's true.
Some people with autism or whatever, they might be the smartest people on earth.
You just have to find a way to get in there and talk to them.
Right, exactly. They gotta know themselves, though, too, first and foremost, before they really shine.
Yeah. So how do you do it? How do you implement this act of being careful and growing every day and learning every day and doing the right thing and being a man for others and letting your actions speak rather than your words? I'm a man of many words. I talk a lot. I mean, my voice going hoarse
Amen.
all this time,
Amen.
proves that. Some of the people that speak the least are the people that do the most. And then think about that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wasting time talking all the time about this, that, and the other, about how I this and I did that and I could do this, that's BS.
Because the other guy's learning.
The other guy's just doing it.
He's learning also.
He's just doing it.
Yeah.
Sit there and talk all you want, man. Boast yourself up, but I'm gonna go. Can I get behind you in line here? Excuse me. So how do we do it? How do you do it? How do you do it for yourself?
Focus on you and through God.
Well, that's one of the. Obviously, that's one of the commandments that God gave us. Was look, mind your own business. Don't don't look at you don't covet your neighbor's wife,
It's
right?
a selfish life
Right.
we live.
You have to a point, yes.
There's actually a saying out of the Bible that says, why are you worried about the splinter in someone else's eye when you're not even paying attention to the plank in your arm?
Right,
Correct.
right.
And what does that mean?
It means...
It's a good one. We talked about that about a year and a half ago, actually. It's been a while.
So, essentially it means, how can you possibly say something about someone else when you yourself...
When you've got you're like, they've got a speck in their eye, and you've got a plank hanging out of yours, and you're over there saying, look at them, look at them.
Right.
Well, that's a little different story, because what they're doing is deflecting.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the spotlight off of them and put it on somebody else. And that's a horrible thing to do, because it actually can hurt people. It can hurt. It's deflecting also.
Yes.
You're deflecting. You're saying, I don't want anything on me. Okay,
Right.
I want it over there. So a lot of times what that's teaching is people that make up stories or gossip or just general gossip about other people. You don't need to be doing that. That's hurtful. It can be hurtful.
It also is killing you at the same time. Because
You're being negative.
Because stress kills.
Well, here's what I say about that. When we have things that we push down,
that's the one.
when that person did something wrong to you, they took $5 from you, right? They stole that $5, right? And you know that they took that $5 and they went and won a lottery ticket with it, and they got $1 million off your $5, and that SOB is down in Mexico drinking margaritas now, and I'm still having to work my butt off I can't even get $5 right now, and and you keep it in, you stuff it down inside.
You'll never get past it.
And you keep pushing it down. Well, what happens when something gets stuck somewhere and it just sits there? What does it do? What does it start to do? It starts to fester. It starts to fester. What's festering? It's that nastiest
It's the
pus.
nastiest word.
Pus and infection. And what is that? It's not going to sit there. It's going to become liquefied. Then what's it going to do? It's going to start spreading through your body. And I'm a firm believer that people that hold on to resentment, that hold on to things like that continue to push that crap down inside their bodies, it causes cancer, it causes other diseases, it causes them to die.
Ailment.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Me too, amen.
Let it go. You're hurting yourself. They're not even thinking about you anymore. Yeah, they got that $5 from you, and they did what they did, and they're sitting on the beach having a grand old time. You're not hurting them. Your resentment's not hurting. They're not thinking about you. You're hurting yourself.
What does that preacher say again? Let it be.
No, he says, let them walk.
Yeah, let them
when
walk.
People can walk away from the story, that's a separate little thing here, but same kind of thing.
Yeah.
When people can walk away from you, let them walk. T.D. Jakes, that's one of my favorite sermons that he does.
Let them walk.
And that's the truth.
It really is. It can,
and that kind of fits with...
It's relativity.
A lot.
It fits all the time, is the problem, because people are in and out of our lives all the time.
But not just people, though. It's things and thoughts and emotions.
But we are a communal society. We talked about it before, that you cannot get through this world on your own.
No.
Babies who are orphans, who they found that when they just put them in the incubator and put them in the
fertility.
The breathing machine?
No. When they just put, what's that place called? The nursery.
Yeah.
They're there in the nursery, the natal care. And nobody, no human would really touch them ever. It was just, they were fed through a tube and nothing really happened. They were never really, they found that those babies died. They died.
More often than not.
More often than not. Or that what they did survive is very sickly or severe mental illness.
Right.
And the reason, what they found is we need human touch. We need human interaction.
Keyword.
And there are actually Scott's father, Scott Sisney, our good friend Scott, he volunteers at the hospital every week to go and hold the babies. What an amazing thing.
Right.
So that those babies can have that human touch, that human interaction.
That's the key word, though, is humanity.
It is.
Because humans wouldn't be humans without humans. We need humans.
Well, yes, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Is we're a communal society.
Right.
That's what God created us, right? So even later in life, as we grow, more mature and older, we talked about keep your relationships healthy. Why? Because the storm does come, and if you're caught out in it on your own, it's very difficult to get through it. And when that storm comes, you can talk to your church members, your fellow church members, your friends. You can talk to your family. Whatever relationships you can keep strong enough those people, there's probably people in those groups that have been through that. They can walk you through it and say, look, it's not going to be easy. You're going to hurt. But let me take some of that from you. Let me help you. Let me grab my arm.
See, it's just like, I picture of it as like a tug of war with a rope.
Okay.
You know?
Explain that to me.
Good and evil, you know, as far as
yeah.
being a warrior for Christ, for one, you know. We're on the good side, you know. But you add another person.
Right.
You add another person, and you add another more person. Keep going, keep going. You're going to pull over. You know, we're going to win. As humans.
I hope so. There's no 100% guarantee that good will benefit or prevail over evil. Let's hope it does.
Well, no, I pray they will.
But you know.
But what I mean by that is, you know, more humans together, the better off of surviving we are.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
You think so? I think we have to be careful with that notion.
What's that?
Well, you get bigger, and things get missed. And it leaves open doors for corruption, which is common. I mean, we're human. That happens. It leaves open doors for humans to do what humans do, which is be greedy, be selfish, be uncaring.
But that's what we have right now is the government.
That's what's happening in this world. That's what we're talking about, good and evil. Let's talk about how this world's gotten.
If we live by the Bible, though, as human beings together.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. And that's why it's your job and your job and your job to spread this word.
Exactly right.
Because, look, people know what the Bible is. Most people do. I'm not actually go to a third world country and I'm sorry?
Man, use the restroom.
Yes, you use the restroom. I'm not actually going to go to a third world country and you know, be a missionary right now. What I'm talking about is just in your regular lives. You've got to, I'm not talking about preaching the Bible either, okay? Because that turns a lot of people off. Just talk. Just talk about what I mean, you don't even have to say
it. Be about it.
This is what I am.
It's be about it.
Okay, and when I talk about, like, you're walking down the street, right? And you don't make eye contact with anybody, you're looking down at the ground. Well, that's not being a Christian.
That's not polite.
Because this person's walking by you. Hey, man, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, nice to see you.
You just changed their whole week.
You could have changed. You couldn't have just saved their lives because that
Exactly
person's walking by you. Might be going on that bridge you just crossed and jumping off because it was the worst day of their lives and they were going to kill themselves. And because you said hello to them and made them feel like somebody,
thank you.
They didn't kill themselves.
That's exactly what I was doing.
There was years ago there was a note found on a bridge. A man was so distraught that he wrote a note, and he said, if just one person will say hello to me, I won't jump. All they found was a note. That's sad. God gives us this gift to be communal, to speak, to just say hello to people, to make some eye contact, yet we choose to ignore because we don't want to get involved. We don't want to see their problems. We don't want them to beg from us or anything else.
It's the human things,
But you know what? Jesus Christ, God, and the Holy Spirit reside in each and every one of us and in each and every human. So by doing that, by doing to the least of these, so do you do to me, right? By treating the least human in that way, you also do it to Jesus Christ.
Amen.
So how are we going to treat him? Well, I would think you want to treat him pretty damn good. Right?
Amen.
That man died on a cross for us. And I don't mean that when I say that, I mean it, people. Don't just let that go when I say that. When I say he died on a cross for us, I want you to envision what it was like. It's not these crucifixes laying around.
He didn't just die.
No, he suffered.
Exactly.
Immensely. I want you to think about nails, dull metal nails being hammered through the top of your feet, through your wrists. Think about that every time, because you know what, we've become numb to it. We become numb to the fact we say, oh, Jesus was crucified, oh, he's nailed to the cross, oh, he died on the cross. Look, yeah, he did. But think about it. And I'm not going to go all into it now. That's something I do for Holy Week. Mm-hmm. But you need to think about it all year long, all the time, because that man suffered more than we will ever know.
For us.
I cannot imagine.
Right.
For a portion of what he did.
Exactly, because he I would do what you want done to you as, do to others what you want done to you.
Exactly. It's so simple.
Golden rule.
It's so simple.
If you live by the golden rule, you're living by the Bible.
But go beyond that. But go beyond that. Yeah, yes, that's the basis. Do unto others as you would have them do it to you. All right, yes. However, go beyond that, because that's still selfish. You're still being a little selfish there. So be a man for others. Be a man and woman for others.
Go and help that lady across the street.
Hey, don't go drink your beer that night.
Right.
And go and give it to charity. Go work in a soup kitchen instead of watching TV at night. And get out there and do something for the world. And look, us talking about this in these walls here, and I've said this before, when I tell y'all to get some butts in the seats, that's your job. You know, it's your job as Christian men and women to not only live the life, but to spread it, to give the message out there and bring people to us. So I'm not talking about cult-like things here. I'm talking about get people in here that will, you know, there's people out there that don't necessarily know what we teach here and how we teach it. And we're different. I mean, I think we're different than most other churches. I mean, first thing, we start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And also, and also we're real. You know, we're real.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, we all put on masks.
Yeah.
We do. I wish we could all just be completely honest with each other. And I, you know, I'll say this again and again. I don't have a lot of friends because of this. Because I don't mince words.
Exactly.
I don't BS. I don't like to do that. I think it's a waste of time.
But those weren't your friends.
But a lot of people don't want to hear what I have to say because they don't want to hear the truth. Exactly. They don't want to hear... And sometimes it's painful for me to just have to say it to people.
It's painful for me to know the truth
people,
about life.
When people ask my opinion, when they don't ask my opinion and they're my friend, I'm going to give it to them.
Exactly right.
And it's not... Most of the time it's
just
not...
like what you would want, though.
I would want the same thing. If I had a booger hanging out of my nose, I'd rather my best friend tell me than the person on the bus. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
But yet you have a girlfriend or whatever, you know, and you point out a pimple on her forehead and she gets mad at you.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about, you know?
You have to have certain ways to go about that, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to have a little bit of grace, a little bit of eloquence when you're...
But even if you did, though, I'm saying, you know, those type of people...
You're right.
You're right.
And that's on them.
Yeah,
that's not on
exactly.
you. You did what you were supposed to do. That's why I said, I don't have a lot of friends because of that. And I don't. I have acquaintances.
But they weren't your friends to begin with. And
no.
in good
I can count the number of friends that I have in this world on one hand.
Amen.
I mean that.
Yep.
And I don't like that.
No, I don't either.
But I don't regret what I say. Because what I say is the truth. And it's even if it's just my opinion, it's my honest opinion. And how can I regret the truth? How can I regret giving you something honesty?
God says, I am the way, the truth, and the light. You know, you have to live by the truth.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But we all lie every day.
It's true.
So why do we do it?
It's human nature.
But we can stop it. We know when we're lying that it's wrong.
We are the government.
Why do we do it? Because it's easier.
Right.
We don't want to deal with it. You know, I don't want to give them that whole. I don't want to tell them the whole story. Just tell them this, and it'll be easier that way.
And then you start getting into a habit of it.
And then what happens is you have to cover up another lie with another lie.
Right.
You know, it's a lot easier to remember the truth than all the lies you have to do to cover up all the other lies.
Exactly.
Freaking man.
Be truthful. Be careful how you live. It's on the program today. It's on a street sign, a big highway sign, right? Can you imagine driving down the highway in the middle of nowhere and just signs there? Be careful. I mean, you've seen them before. Jesus saves, right? You've seen those. Same thing. Be careful how you live.
That would be like stopping at a red light to me.
It's everything.
Exactly.
It's what you take into your body. It's about what you spew out of your mouth. It's about how your work ethic. It's your treatment of others. You know, look, everything in moderation. We talk about that, right? When you overdo something, you're hurting yourself. When you underdo something, you're hurting yourself. There's a happy medium here, you know, with life. And I think if you find that, some of these people that live to be 102, 105, 112 years old, they talk about this. They drink a glass of wine or a glass of scotch or whatever a night. One glass. At moderation. God gave us things like that to sometimes soothe our pains, or sometimes to celebrate, or sometimes, you know, all sorts of different reasons for the different things that God has given us. You know, food is also, when you eat food, it causes endorphins to go off in your brain. You could feel good things. Right. All these chemicals up here going, oh, that feels good. Similar to alcohol, or to drugs, or to different kinds of sexual acts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, all of those things cause endorphins. Well, there's a reason for that.
I think the reason is motivation.
Partly. What's the reason for drugs to cause endorphins. There's no motivation in that, is there?
Maybe there is
Chemical
though.
imbalance
Still
within the
what drug
brain.
it is.
It could be a mental disorder, and that the people are trying to self-medicate. That's very possible, and that's very common.
Yes.
What about, so let's just go on a normal basis though. This person's got a normal brain, no chemical imbalance, and they still
Sometimes
partake
just to do it.
in alcohol, but it causes endorphins. What's the motivation there? It's not.
It's
Can we just look at it this? God gave you something to relax you a little bit today.
But in a way, there's still motivation though, isn't it? Because what if that...
What is it motivating you to do? Relax?
Well, no, it's motivating you to get through that day.
Okay.
You know? To make it to tomorrow.
Well, yes. But
I mean, you're going to get
it's
there.
not something you absolutely... It's
a
not
lot
something
better.
It's not something you need. Well, it depends on how much alcohol you drink. You drink 3 bottles of wine, you're not going to get there too well. So next day you're going to be hurting.
That's unmotivation.
Yeah,
Because you're going to be lazy for
that
work.
That moderation didn't work out too well, did it?
You're going to be lazy for work the next day, that's for sure.
Look, it's very simple, guys. Life is very simple.
It is.
It's just not easy. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. It's very simple. The words are right there in front of you. They're right in that book. You know,
Just be careful.
be careful how you live. We know the difference between right and wrong. I believe it's inherent. I believe we know that from the day we're born. Look, God gave you guilt to help you along if you can't figure it out.
Right.
If you're guilty, if you're feeling guilty, you've done something wrong. Trust me.
Right.
And so you need to go, oh, wait a minute. This is one of those things, I'm doing something wrong here. This is one of the Universal Life Church's sayings. It's actually their motto. Do that which is right.
It's easy. It really is easy.
Can you do it? Can you think about it? Here's the assignment then for this week. Okay, I'm gonna really try and start doing this because I really enjoy. I'm not talking about giving you a writing assignment every week.
No, but it's a challenge.
This is what you need to be working on this week. So this week, every day, when your day is coming to a close and you're winding down and you're ready to say your nightly prayers and go to bed, right? Because we're all doing that now. We're still taking 10 minutes a day and getting on our knees and praying and then shutting up and listening, right? And listening to what's being said back. During that time, even when you're just winding down or after your prayers or before your prayers, kind of meditation time, just relax. Ask yourself, what did I do today? What did I do today that shows that I'm a man for others? How was I a man for others today? What did I do? Seriously. And if you start thinking about that and looking at it every day, you realize that there's a lot of missed opportunities where you could have been a man for others. Where you could have given of yourself, your time, your ability, your money, whatever.
It's like whenever I open a door for a little woman.
That's one thing.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That's one thing. Well, chivalry's dead, obviously.
Yeah.
You're still in the South, though. So there are still gentlemen here, and I'm one of them.
Right.
I don't care if it's a man or a woman. I'm going to open it.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. But that's just part of it. That's one thing to do. There's so many different levels of this. And if you start doing that and start realizing and start noticing what you're doing and noticing all the missed opportunities you have, guess what? Start doing it. Start making those opportunities not missed. You're going to find an abundance coming your way. You're going to find that life becomes a little easier. The stress is a little less. That you are a lot happier.
But not just that, you're changing the world though too.
Well, yeah. But talk about motivation. Happiness is a huge one.
Indeed.
Lower stress is a huge one.
And,
Making life somewhat easier is a huge one. When you give,
Make that your
when you
alcohol.
give of exactly, when you give of yourself,
Well said.
when you give of yourself, and you give of your abilities and your time, and your word and your mind and just give of yourself, of your talents.
Amen.
They come back. It all of a sudden starts
Tenfold.
feeling. Yeah.
That's how.
And you're like,
works.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was easy the whole
Now,
time.
I know that I have a rule here, and I'm going to brag. I'm just going to use an example and kind of brag on myself a little bit. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to give you an example. When people come here and they're hungry, and I mean they're hungry, go eat. There's food in there. I have a couple of rules. Don't take the last thing without asking. I think that's just being common courtesy, okay? And clean up after yourself. And don't go in there and just graze because you're bored. If you're hungry, genuinely hungry, go eat. And I mean that for anybody that walks in this door. I know that I will never, ever go hungry again in my life. I've been hungry. I've eaten out of a dumpster. Okay? But I know that if I can able to give of what I have,
be humble. It's humble.
Look, even if it's my last bologna sandwich,
You're gonna have
somehow or another,
we're both gonna
that food's going to come back to me. I'm not going to go hungry. God's not going to let me go hungry. It doesn't mean I can sit on my ass and not go to the grocery store and do nothing and not make any money to go buy the food. I still have to do those things. But God gives me the ability to do that and gives me the means to do that and makes it to where I can get up off my butt and go to the store and get another thing of bologna sandwiches.
the motivation
Right?
and drive.
I will never go hungry again as long as I'm able to give. Because I don't know if any of y'all have ever been really hungry. And I mean hungry to the fact that you're eating out of a dumpster.
Not that hungry.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
I've eaten
It
pizza
sucks.
out of
There's worms and there's all kinds of lovely things in a dumpster. You smell them as you walk by. But you're that hungry? Yeah. You know what hunger is. Mm-hmm. And that's not even as hungry as some people are. There's many people in third world countries that are literally starving.
Yes.
Literally dying of hunger. And I can't imagine. So, that's just the example I have for myself. I know that I'll never go hungry as long as I'm able to give what I have and am free about that giving. That means a lot to me because I there's a lot of faces that come through here. And there's a lot of faces that like to play the game and talk the talk and try and, talk me down, get what they can get out of me. Mm-hmm. And, whatever, that's on them. But I know that because I give, I will receive. Mm-hmm. Don't be stupid. Mm-hmm. Don't give and go blindly and have your emotions overrun. And look, God gave you one of these. Yeah. Right? And inside here, there's something up here.
He also gave you one of
these. He gave you one of these too. And they fight all the time. Exactly. But you got to find a balance. You got to find that balance. Because if you don't, you're going to end up in the gutter. Because they're going to take you for everything you're worth. There's people like that out there. It's called evil. It's called evil, is what it is. When people take you like that and take advantage of you like that, it's called evil.
Yep.
And without evil,
you wouldn't be good.
You can't have that love and that good. You cannot have one without the other. Without the appreciation. If you don't appreciate and understand what this evil is, you cannot appreciate and understand what love is. I'm sorry, you can't. Hate, evil, love, whatever. Those things have to be, you've got to have both of them in this world because this universe is equal. It always will be equal. Right?
I want to add something onto that, be careful how you live,
Yeah.
You can kind of use it as an analogy by saying, it's just like traffic. If you don't slow down whenever it's governed, you might die.
True.
Yeah. Or if you're speeding at 90 miles an hour down the tollway, you might die, you might kill somebody else, which you're going to get a ticket.
Right.
So you're going to get punished.
Just be careful how you're driving.
Be careful. Just be careful. Just follow the rules. And be generous. Give. God gave you gifts. Those talents you have that you're able to do. I talk about all the time about some of the things that help me be a preacher, help me be a minister here, and how my life has evolved into this, and all the different things that have kind of come together that I use every day being a minister. You wouldn't believe. I'm not just up here talking. I'm a decent orator, but there's so many other aspects of this job that I use. And those talents that God gave me, I'm amazed that I'm able to use all of those in this one profession. So that's what I talk about. Use those talents that God gave. God gave you those talents for a reason, not just stuff them down and hide them and keep them from everybody else. He gave you so you could share them with other people.
Amen.
Right? And that doesn't mean always making a fortune of them. If you're an artist and, give something away every now and then. That's all there is to it. There's starving artists out there who are very, very good. And that's how we can also give back, is by going to places like that and buying their artwork. Not just because of their name on it, because of their talent that they have.
Exactly.
Okay? Anything else today, guys?
I think we touched everything, man.
Did we?
Indeed.
Anything else? Okay, so what's the assignment for this week?
To go out and open the door for an old lady.
How about this? I want you to take the time to really, at night when you're winding down, when you're taking your socks off, your shoes off, and you're lying in your underwear in the bed, you're getting ready to curl up and go to sleep with your little puppy dog. Okay? What did I do today to be a man for others? What did I do? And think about that. And when you do think about that, automatically you're going to think of, well, what missed opportunities did I have?
Right.
And you're going to think about that. It's going to be natural. And work on that a little bit. And we'll talk about that next week a little bit. Okay? Guys, it was a good one. Please keep the deacon Partain in your prayers.
Always.
So we miss him very much, and we hope to have him back very, very soon. So keep him in your prayers for us. And I will see you all next week at 3 o'clock.
Sounds fabulous.
Thank you, Pastor.
God bless you all.
God bless
God bless you too.
Oh.